That's right.
Right. I mean,
Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. What is it that you want to take the most out of? Because we can talk really all day long. And if it's not relevant to you, it doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, you're the one who has expressed interest to either of us of wanting to start a client event either this year or, leading off 23 with a bang with a great client event. It's just a matter of what's going to be the most impactful for you to either pull the plug and get started to make that change happen, or what's it going to be for you? So we're all ears and we're happy to provide insight, whatever it may be. Laurie has created a awesome list of potential client event ideas.
we'll share with you guys a Google form. So this is more gonna be like us talking about like the different things and sharing. So Will and Terry have actually done some client events. Some of you guys may have done some client events as well. I'm actually gonna be hosting my very first client event. I'm going big or going home. So it's gonna be a December holiday thing. And so the whole purpose is really because like we're literally next month is December, which makes zero sense whatsoever. So 2023 is right around the corner, and I think more than anybody, Will could probably tell you that planning goes into, there's a lot of planning that goes into these things. So we can go big events, little events, and let's just kind of talk about like what does 2023 look like for us? What types of events can we host? Whether you're a brand new agent or you're an agent who's been doing this for 10 years and has a huge client base. So that's just kind of what we're going to talk about today.
Definitely interested in the execution and timelines for planning. So
Yeah.
In events,
Yeah.
December,
Mhm.
how quickly do I need to get the ball rolling?
For sure.
And that's going to be contingent upon how big the event is.
Of course.
In you, I haven't done my first client appreciation.
Yeah. Yeah, I can kind of share with you like what I've learned just in planning my first one too. I'll say we can kind of write some notes down and circle back to some things. So like timelines, preparation, we'll talk about that. And then also, again, that's going to depend on like, is this a micro event? Is this a big mass client event for all clients, or is this like a sphere of influence event? What is this going to be? So timelines for sure. Is anybody wanting to do something before the end of the year? Kip wants to do something before the end of the year. Marla, you guys want to do something before the end of the year?
I want to do something December 3rd, but I just started getting things out.
Okay,
Out also.
yeah. I will say I'm doing something December 3rd too. And-
Santa.
Yeah, we're doing Santa breakfast. So it'll be photos, Santa, the whole 9 yards. I started mine. I wish I had started mine just a little bit earlier. And the reason I will say that is because maybe I wanted a different Santa. So when you're hiring a Santa and
Check
you,
him out first.
yeah, well, no, I think my Santa's gonna be fine.
Oh.
My Santa might be on the skinny side. My Santa might be on the skinny side. However, no, he's got good experience. He has good reviews. I think he's gonna be just fine for what I'm looking for, and everybody's gonna be super happy.
Smell like a chimney?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
If you get close
Here's
enough,
a
you might
tip.
know.
Here's a tip. I got my Santa through gigsalad.com. Gig salad, if you've never been, Will is looking at me like I have lost my brain, y'all.
In other words, it is a smattering of folks that need gigs, so things.
Think about it, like you can get a DJ on there, you can get a caterer on there, you can get wedding venues on there. You can get anything that you want on gigsalad.com, including like umpteen Santas. If you want a good Santa, you better be booking your Santa by May. So when we talk about preparation for something, I booked my Santa in late August. So I did have some options. They were not my top options, but I'm happy with what I've got.
Can you also highlight, Laurie, how many people have been invited to this event?
Yeah.
Because that'll kind of give us a scope for,
like I
do you
s-
consider
yeah.
this just a sphere event? Do you consider this
Yeah.
a big time deal?
So for me, I have a pretty big past client database. However, here's, I don't know if I made a mistake with this or not yet. Listen, y'all, I'm going big or going home, and it's trial and error for me right now on this particular one. So I'm calling it my first annual breakfast with Santa. I initially wanted to offer it to past clients, and then part of me in the back of my head was like, oh, but I want to offer it to so-and-so who I know will probably buy or sell a house with me in the future. And I want to invite it to this person. And I have invited sphere of influence. I have invited past clients. I have invited family and friends, which are my sphere of influence. Right now I have about 100 people that are signed up to go. At the end of this, I'll probably have closer to 175, and I'm totally fine with that.
So I do have another question. So when you are, I know you're doing a larger event, so how do you go about sending the invites? I know there's virtual
Yeah.
ways, there's so many.
There's so many different ways. So like if you really want like an RSVP, there's different ways to do it. Like you could do like an Eventbrite where they have to actually get a ticket to go to your event.
Okay.
So that's personally what I did.
Mhm.
I may look for a different avenue.
Okay.
What do you guys use?
We have them sign up through a Google form.
Yeah.
And then our admin just keeps track of everybody, how many people they're bringing and all of that. What I told Lori when we were brainstorming some, I said, the biggest fear I have and the worst thing that can happen to you, in my mind, is someone saying, "Oh, I didn't get that."
Yeah.
And so it may seem like overkill, but if I am trying to invite Terry to an event, I'm going to call her, I'm gonna text her, I'm gonna email her, I may even do a mailer.
Yeah.
I never want Terry to be able to say, Will, I never got your invite.
And those things are,
And so, and so to that point, don't box yourself in and say, I'm just gonna send out email invites.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And just be careful about that. I mean, we got, and it still happens, you know, it still happens. Like, we got a message yesterday from somebody in our sphere. It was like, hey, we didn't get in for photos. You know, anybody could take photos for us. And we're like, we are so sorry. You should have gotten that invite. And then we were like, we'll cover the cost of your photos.
Sounds very cool.
So
And calls are always a good touch. Yeah. You know, definitely. People
Let's-
get,
Yeah.
you get hundreds of emails every hour,
Here-
even every day.
Here's the thing. How many of you are in bold right now?
mhm.
All right, I'm in bold, so about five of us or so. What other way to get 100 contacts in a week than to call your people and let them know about the events that you're hosting, right? Guess how many contacts John got this week just because he called and invited people here, because he's in bold. So John called people and invited people here, and those were touches. Those.
Now you know, I mean, secret's out. Golly, thanks for, I still care about all of you anyways.
That's John's lead generation, guys. That's the way John lead generates, is he calls and he invites people to stuff. We can do the same thing. And I think it's very critical. I have been calling, texting, Facebooking, emailing, and I've been,
easiest phone call you'll make.
yes, because you're coming from contribution.
You're giving them something.
You're giving them something of value. Terry,
I did something a little different with my event. I did a shred event. I did it around, tax day.
yeah,
And I'm also a Chamber of Commerce member in Chapin. And so I've never done an event with the chamber. So I kind of did a chamber / client. I invited my past clients, my sphere of influence, the chamber. It was in the chamber newsletter. I did a Facebook event. I had different avenues. I tied in a chamber member to the food. I had like grabbing those lunch bags. I did it during the lunch hour so that people could come, you know, on their lunch break. And it was a Friday that I did it.
and you said you used somebody that was a vendor that was a Chamber of Commerce
No,
member? Or
No, I paid for the whole event myself. I decided, I struggled with asking a vendor because right now everybody's bombarding these vendors. People are tight money wise. So I've never done a chamber event. So I think I spent about $500. It wasn't too bad. And I had about 20 people, but I had so many people say, I wish I could have come. Let me know next time. I definitely want to be there. It was good for branding. It was in the newsletter of the Chapin Chamber newsletter. So all the people saw it several times. I also made a flyer. I don't know if you saw
I
it.
was gonna say, it was also on their
She's in the
marquee.
chamber. Yeah, it was on their marquee.
Oh, very
You
cool.
know, so it was more branding and I had more recognition, even though I had about 20 people come. I also did in conjunction with that, We Care is our local charity that, they do food and, clothing for kids and adults. And I also had people I had boxes or a QR code, they could make a donation to the We Care.
That's really
So
cool.
I incorporated the.
It's a great event.
And I'm gonna do it again this year, so.
And the other thing too is like, even, and I know Will and I've had this conversation before. You've told me where there was an event that you thought that it was gonna be a home run, and it wasn't a home run for you. Are you gonna do it again?
No,
Okay,
no. And so, I mean, don't be afraid. I'll tell you about it. Don't be afraid if it doesn't work to not do it again.
that's where I was getting at.
I thought in my brain, I was like, we'll rent out the top floor at Liberty on the Lake. We'll have a Super Bowl party, pay for the food. Everybody comes in and it'll be a great event. And I just didn't think about this. Probably should have. Everybody's got plans on Super Bowl Sunday.
I don't. You can invite me next time.
There won't be next time. And so,
You're right, most people didn't plan,
for Super Bowl.
or at least have an option.
They did. Oh, did he? That was a long time ago. But,
He's not doing one of the Liberty like.
I'm not doing that again. And I mean, just everybody's got plans.
Well,
Most
and-
people have something they do every Super Bowl, whether it's, hey, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay home. watch
It's
the
Sunday
game."
night.
Or,
Yeah, it's Sunday.
or, yeah, or,
People
hey,
have
I've
kids.
always watched the game with him and his family. I'm gonna be there. And so it just didn't have a great turnout.
Yeah.
And so what I thought was our signature event, we won't do it.
And I mean, yeah, so it wasn't good. And then you probably figured out some factors as to why it didn't turn
Oh,
out
yeah.
well. So those are the things. You're gonna find that something might not work out and don't beat yourself up over it. You have found that other events are much
Your-
more powerful.
Your
for your
clients will tell you what your signature is.
Mhm.
That's the truth, because you're gonna tell you what they're interested in. And so our signature event is now the Fireflies game. And so, I mean, last 2 years we've held it, we've had over 130 each game.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And I don't really restrict that to past clients because it's an opportunity for me to meet new people
Mhm.
and to gain new business. We gave the listing off that event this year.
And it wasn't from a past client or.
It was referred to us by a past client, but it was a new client that we met and we sold their house and we referred them out to another city. And so, you know, I don't restrict that.
Mhm.
Now, we do photos, for families. We either do it right before Easter or right before, or in the fall. And that is a past client kind of thing. You know, we do those, we bring them out, we pay for the photographer, the photographer shoots them, and then they get all their digital photos and we simply give them a card. We partner with the vendor's info is on there. And then we ask them,
I like a train.
and then we ask them, we say, hey, Tamika, we hope you love your photos. If you decide to share them online, could you just tag us in them? Because we like to see them. And then that way, Tamika goes online, she posts it, she tags the King group, and we get a little bit of social media out of that.
Mhm.
But we partner with the vendor on that. And listen, if it's not a past client, but hey, I know that so-and-so is a really good referral partner of mine, or I know that they are what I would call a VIP, they'll get an invite.
That's kind of what happened to me this time. So mine was supposed to be a private event, like you weren't coming unless you got an invite from me. And like I said, it wasn't just past clients, it was fear of influence and everything. And it might be somebody that I really love and respect, and it might be a family member of theirs that I just know just through them. So one of my clients got a hold of it and shared it on Facebook and Instagram. And all of a sudden I have 25 signups, 25 tickets registered for people I don't know. And this is my big thing that I'm spending a lot of money on. I will say this, you've got to be real careful if that's not your intention. Like if your intention was not for everybody to go out and invite people, it's fine if you want to, if like,
say Laura and her husband want to bring parents, that's different. Like if you want to sign up and your party is a party of 4, that's different. But I had 25 people within 5 minutes that signed up for this thing and it was growing like wildfire. I will say, kind of like Bob Ross, it was a happy mistake because these are 4 families that I'm like, I need to know these families. I know where their kids go to school. I now know what they do for a living because I have Facebook stalked them. I personally reached out to all 4 of these families and said, hey, we haven't met before. However, I'm so excited to meet you at our breakfast for Santa. And I did call my client and just say, hey, it's growing like wildfires at this point, and I'm going to have to ask you to take it down. So I did have to do that. That was really tough. And she understood. So just be really careful, like just know, like intentionally, like where this is going. And if it's if it's a VIP invite only, make sure you put that out there. Time wise, as far as like, when are you looking to do? What's that? Sorry. I know. She's gonna be so mad at me and I'm such a tickler. Okay. I will never do that again because Tamika just yelled at me. Kit, what were you looking to do? Like, were you looking to do something for Thanksgiving or Christmas?
So, just doing pies or something like that for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Christmas, I typically do Christmas cards like a lot of people do.
sure.
So from an execution standpoint, with pies, I know that we're kind of getting down to crunch time. So
Mhm.
that's one of the things that I was looking at and just kind of saying, hey, I've never done this before.
Mhm.
Just being a high C, I need to know how this comes together. and
Yeah.
who I need to be talking to.
As far as pies go, based on all the people I've talked about pies,
Give me
yes.
some pies and I've been-
You've done pies? I mean, how overkill is it?
So I can do some input on.
Me too, yeah.
So one, they $6 at Sam's. You can ask Sam's not to put a label on them, and if you have other vendors or just your own, you can have fast signs, make a label, put your own label on them. You got enough people, you can get both, let vote on to, depending on how many people you have, deliver the pies to them. And that gives you more face to face with your client.
And Sam's has the big pies, but it's.
Sam's and Costco.
I just go to Publix, $3.99, apple.
Oh, yeah.
pumpkin. I call my people, I give them a choice, apple, pumpkin, pecan. Pecan's a lot more expensive now.
So is apple.
So anyway, usually I give them 2 choices. So if you wanna, right, yeah. But that, I deliver, you can't deliver them because I don't have a huge amount of people.
Tamika, did y'all give your people a choice of a pie? Or was it just a pie?
So I think the last 2 years, we gave a choice of pumpkin and maybe apple. The first couple years, it
Nothing.
was only pumpkin.
Pumpkin is the cheapest pie you can buy.
There's some big pies.
What I thought about doing is kind of like you were saying, Will, creating like a flyer and putting it out there. And then also maybe kind of doing like a recorded video on my phone and just send the text to the couple and just say, hey, Sarah and Will, this is Kit Met with Keller. We just want to get back and you just reply to this text. You won't reply 1 for pumpkin pie, reply 2 for apple, reply 3. And then that way I know what they want. And then as far as delivering it, I guess you would deliver it in the evenings. Otherwise you have to deliver it to the business, right? Otherwise you're
Deliver it
leaving.
today.
So part of your
Yeah.
phone call when you talk to them, and the ones from Sam are practically frozen. And you can have permission if they say, hey, I'm not gonna be here, can you leave it such and such? Some people never say, let you leave it someplace, some people are home, but we went all day. It was.
And I know
Starting
some
getting it by
people,
9.
I think like, Jeff Riley set up here.
You can set up in our parking lot too, and have them come get it.
So now, once we had grown to the clients, then we said, come get it. But the first first year,
Come get your
and the
heart.
first two, we went and took them.
Yeah.
To the heart, because it wasn't.
Right.
Overwhelming.
And I did it by map, so I knew one day I was gonna be in
That's what we
Lexington.
talked about.
Yeah, one day I was gonna be in the Northeast, and then I had literally just drove to Publix, pick up the pies because they're on sale that week before Thanksgiving.
And that puzzle that you routed.
And
Yeah.
then I just picked up 2 apples, 2 pumpkins, and then went and delivered them. And then I didn't have a whole bunch of pies in my car and in my house. That's how I did it.
Yeah, if you're gonna do something for pies, you probably need to get that out within the next 48 hours, because Thanksgiving is 16 days away.
Yeah, well, the thing with the pies too, if you do it here, Kim, it wouldn't be that big a deal for you, but Susan did her event, I think it was like 5:30 to 7:30. She didn't plan very well because it was her. I said, you are not sitting out here by yourself.
Yeah.
I went home, changed clothes and sat up here with her. Just don't do that. So if it's just you,
Yeah.
don't do that by yourself.
If there's a
Partner,
couple of
whatever.
you solo agents that want to go ahead and start figuring that out and getting the ball rolling for something like that, go together and maybe a couple of you
Right.
do a setup here.
As you plan out, not anything near term, but as you plan out, I would encourage you to find events and things that are uniquely you.
I did, Jim.
That's where you're gonna make the biggest impact. Find things that are uniquely you. I can't really tell you what they are for you, but we've hit on a few things.
So can I also add, like, Will was talking about the ball field and the stadium. Also think about what you want. What's your expectation of the event? Like, is this just so to have one, or is this for clients to remember you and keep you top of mind? Or because at the ball field, you have an opportunity to talk to all of your clients while you're there. Whereas if you host a movie day
Yeah, maybe
and you
not.
buy out the movies, they watch the movie and they leave.
Right,
Yeah,
You don't get to talk to them.
That's a great,
You know?
Yeah,
and we even picked in the stadium where we were going to be based on the fact that we can all move around easily and talk.
nice.
And so, yeah, you gotta put that kind of thought into it too. That's a great point
There was a
about
builder.
being able to interact with.
That's right.
There was a builder that did a movie night one time several years ago, probably about 6, 7 years ago. And, honest to God, couldn't tell you who that builder was. I went, I could not tell you who that builder was. I remember it was a really bad Christmas movie. I remember we had heaven for, honey babe pan box lunches and our dinners. We had to sit there in our little, that's before the movie theater seats were like this, and they were like this. And I remember everything about the event, but I cannot tell you who hosted it. It was just a builder. That's all I know. So, yes.
So I have a question. So I know like with you doing a larger event, I think that would be more so what I want to do, a larger event. So how far in advance should you start planning?
Because it depends on the event that you want to host.
Okay.
Are you gonna have people helping you out?
I would probably, yeah.
Like vendors helping you out financially, so you're probably gonna get a little more with them sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Again, if you're hosting some big, huge event for Christmas and you know you need a venue and you need a Santa, and you need photographers, and you need a caterer, and you need all these things, you're looking 6 months on something like that.
We've already put our deposit down for our baseball event next year,
And what month is that?
April.
6 months.
Well,
something
and-
like that.
And then that's your signature, so that's like a non-negotiable.
Right.
Right.
And I'm learning this, but we've worked with another partner agent of ours outside of the area that has given us a lot of tips on this. She in October is writing letters to her vendors going, these are the events we're doing in 2023. If you want to take part, please let us know.
Right.
And they.
And then they all have equal opportunity to do
They
so,
have
and then
equal
you're not leaving anybody
opportunity.
out.
Yeah, they have equal opportunity and so planning out, and once again, I'm not there by any stretch. If we get to where we want to be, our planning out is pretty much done in October
For the
for
following
the
year.
following year.
That's why we're talking about this now and not in January. So, I mean, if you think about like all of the different things that you can do,
Keep in mind really quick, your vendors, if you use a vendor, typically your financial vendors, such as your lenders, they they have to split it equally with whoever else is footing the bill. So if you've got a $1,500 event, they can either do $750 and you do $750. Or if you get more, anyway, it has to be equal for the lenders. RESPA or whatever. So keep that in mind. And then, something else related to that. You don't have to spend a bunch of money. on events.
You really don't.
You really don't. I know we're talking about a lot of bigger events with money and all that. Sometimes it's just about the experience.
Yeah.
I missed the part about breakfast and thing, where are you doing it?
I'm actually doing my breakfast with Santa at, the Peanut Man, on Fernandina, right behind Sportsman's Warehouse. They have a beautiful, I chose that place because number one, they have really good food. Number two, it's a great location. Number three, they have an amazing fireplace that they decorate themselves. So guess who doesn't have to bring decorations? This girl. So they're doing the venue, basically I'm getting the venue for almost free. Because I'm also having them cater my event. Here's the other thing, a breakfast is much more cost effective than a dinner or even a lunch for that matter. So they're gonna do a breakfast buffet for me. I reached out to my photographer she is a fantastic like senior photo, mini family photos photographer. And she's actually starting to dial into real estate photos. So as a favor, I asked her if she would do it for me and she gave me a great rate on it. It is a flat fee that I found this photographer for. Instead of paying per family, I'm paying a flat fee and she's bringing her daughter who has been dabbling in photography for a couple of years as an extra shooter. So I'm getting 2 photographers for the price of 1. So basically my cost is my food, my Santa was $200 for 2.5 hours. Super cheap. Yeah. I thought it was going to be more than that. I was prepared to pay more than that. And then my photographer. So my nieces are going to come, they're going to be the elves and they're going to help the kids like a little craft and it's going to be very organized because we have to get a lot of families in to get photos. So that's basically what my event is in a nutshell. So I just didn't want to have to decorate, that I didn't want to have to overthink anything. So it was once I realized where I wanted to have it, I called them up and I said, can I do this? And I kind of gave them a couple of different options and they said, well, we can. And we had to kind of think outside of the box with it because they actually open up at 11 o'clock on a Saturday. Our event doesn't end until 11:30. Heck, I'm going to try and take advantage of anybody that walks in and try and get some business from that too. So we'll have somebody like Emily, my admin will be there and we'll be, I'll probably have my mom will probably be there helping out. We'll have a couple of different people. So I don't have a big team of people that will be helping me out. So I'll just have a couple of hands on deck.
So they're not going to open for breakfast.
They do not open for breakfast. They open for lunch and they close down at like 6 o'clock. They're open from like 11 to 6 or something like that. Our event's from 9 to 11:30. And yeah, I mean, it's just, everything's done. It was actually rather simple. You just have to show up and make sure that, I mean, I've already got everybody's information. They're signing up. I have their phone numbers, their email addresses. I have everything.
What day are you doing that?
December 3rd. She's gonna crash.
Margaret's
Hey,
gonna-
Margaret, if you dress in your elf costume, you can come.
Margaret's gonna invite her clients.
Yeah.
All of these-
She's like, and what day are you? And where?
You know what, I sign up if I really to come.
You're shaking.
I really want to stop by and see, you know,
You can,
see you.
you can.
I will not for my own city.
Bad timing, Tammy.
I know, 4 times. And for those of you like who just started or whatever, don't get overwhelmed by this, because like Lori, that's a great setup. But for me, I'm just doing it in my neighborhood.
That's
And
perfect.
I'm just doing it at our pool, and so I have a couch and
That's awesome.
I'm gonna take pictures, but I'm just serving hot chocolate and cookies. We're gonna play Christmas music and just have a couple fire pits out there. So it's just the neighborhood and it's not as costly.
And that's probably gonna get you a lot of business.
And I mean, it's just, 'cause I have 2 other realtors in my neighborhood and what?
You own that neighborhood. Find those in the corner of West End.
Working on that, but, you know, so there's some competition with the other realtors, they've done a, Christmas social. And then, one of the other, so I have 3 realtors that I named credit, so the other one did a, pumpkin painting.
Contest.
Contest, so I've got to be doing stuff in my neighborhood, so I invited my sphere.
Well,
but
that's
I-
what it's like to compete with two
And
neighborhoods.
after they do the pumpkin
I need to-
design, you need to do a pumpkin chunking.
Oh,
All of their pumpkins in, and they can slingshot across the neighborhood.
Into the realtor's yard.
That's hilarious.
Do that.
You're also doing the pets and the pets, not just
Yeah.
kids.
Oh, you're doing pets too.
Empty kits and people.
My mom's brokerage is doing pets with Santa, so I'm taking my dog to Greenwood to their brokerage for, yeah, like, my kid's gonna get her picture on this one day, my pet's gonna get.
And I literally didn't even have a place for the Santa sit or anything, so I just went out and paid for the marketplace, bought a couch, and, there we go.
And sell
It was only $50.
What you got, Tamika?
Oh, we sell it.
Having a, especially if it's for your past clients and not just the general world, having a check-in or sign-in
Mhm.
sheet, having somewhere for them to be able to put referrals that they
Absolutely.
have. And it'd be nice if you had a small token of appreciation for anyone who gave you a referral and contact information.
Yep.
Like at the event, give them a $10 gift card, Amazon,
Yeah,
Starbucks, something like that, and then that, and set a goal, okay, based on this number of people that are coming and that came, I wanna have this many referrals from.
do y'all, when you were working on those, did you have like paper sign up, or did you have like landing page, or?
So now this is the one that Josh and I mean, we found real good. Josh did October 30th.
I
And
remember you were planning that, yeah.
so, yeah, so I did do the paper
Okay,
sign-in sheet, because my Josh wasn't quite as organized when I met him on October the 10th for the October 30th event.
We know.
So.
Girl,
So we
Josh is like baby brother, we get it.
So we had paper, sign in, and then he brought them back, and everybody that had a referral had written the name, we had somewhere for them to write their name and phone number, and then the sign-in sheet included circle like which gift you want. We gave them a choice of a bottle of wine, $10 for less, and
What's wrong with the dog line?
Starbucks gift card. And because we went probably 2 days before the event, we didn't see like Amazon gift card. So we did find some that might have been like $10 to various restaurants like that are in the mall and stuff like that. So they
You
got-
can get like Chick-fil-A, you can get like the 3-pack of Chick-fil-A's for like $30. Stuff like that, people eat that stuff up. Amazon gift cards are great.
I don't think I realized how important it was at the events to say, who do you have? If we can help.
Absolutely, right,
Until just recently, but you're dead on.
yeah.
Mhm.
The takeaway too, having a gift of a thank you for coming, thank you for, I always say, thank you for playing along. That's critical.
And asking for referrals when they're already in like such a good,
Right.
happy mood, if
Yeah.
they're like, at something
Beating
fun,
on.
yeah.
Just like asking for a referral when they're happy on closing day, you know, it's the same thing. All right, so in preparation for the events, obviously, there's a lot that goes into it. I think the biggest thing, because I am probably one of the biggest overthinkers in this room, and correct me if I'm wrong. You have to let some of this stuff go. It can't be perfection all the time. However, you can learn from the little things that didn't go as well as you would hope that they would have from year to year. So I'm not going for perfection. I'm going for a great day that people are going to enjoy, and they're not going to see the imperfections. So try not to like overkill anything. Don't overthink it. And then list the help of if you don't have a team, enlist the help of your family. I will say, as somebody who grew up in this business, my parents did a lot of stuff in the community and for their clients and agent open houses, and they did everything that you could possibly think of. And I can tell you that I did a lot of that work for them as a teenager. You have teenagers in your house. You have 7-year-olds in your house. They can do this work, they can help you. So, yes,
One of the things that we're doing that's on a smaller scale that would be good for a new agent, is the small square boxes of tissue, taking the small square boxes of tissue to
Like
local
Kleenex
schools,
boxes?
Kleenex boxes, to the school, to the teachers, for them to have in their classroom and have, like a sticker with your name, logo, and contact information, and saying, hey, I want to be able to provide this to you, you know, and that's, I think you can get 10 boxes for maybe $20. So, and I know like my elementary school has, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know how many teachers they have, but it's not many. Like at least two packs, and I'm good with all of the teachers. And that's something that is showing appreciation to your local community and hoping you can be their agent for children too.
yeah, and the other thing too is like, if you don't have big past client list, it doesn't have to be a client event. It can be an event at a local school. It can be, so Emily Seeley she got sick on Halloween, so she did not get to go do her event. She contacted the school and they said, no problem, whenever you're feeling better, just come back out. She did donuts. She did, a client of hers who was a manager at Starbucks donated the coffee and the coffee cups.
Nice.
So not only was it an event, a client of hers donated it, guys, because she had a connection.
Mhm.
And then a lender of hers donated like a little gift basket for a drawing. And then she's like, who can I call for an attorney? I told her who to call. I told her to call Danielle Boykin, because y'all know Danielle Boykin's gonna just throw money at people. That's right. She's never done a deal with Bell Carrington a day in her life. She picked up the phone and she said, Laurie Smith told me to call you. And they gave her $100 gift card to private property to donate to raffle off.
Nice.
So I'm like, so that girl had a basket of private property, some type of gift card and something else. And she went back on Friday when she was feeling better, and she met with and this was a school that she used to teach at. And she went and she had the cart, and the lender came with her, and they took the cart, and they took donuts and coffees all to all the teachers that morning. So this is somebody who does not yet have a huge client list. So she did it more as a community. Hey, thank you teachers for everything you do. She ended up getting, I think, about 30 people that signed up on her landing page.
Nice.
So this was a way for her to build her database and give back to the community. But it wasn't a client event, and she spent, I think, and she only bought the donuts. She only ended up having to buy like so many dozens of donuts. It wasn't that, and she had to buy 1 dozen, get 1 dozen off. So to take advantage of those. And she texted me after she was done, telling me it was so great. And she says, who do I give the rest of my donuts to? I'm like, I don't know. Go hit up like a local automotive shop and just take them over and say, hey, I'm a local realtor, and I just wanted to share some donuts with you guys. And she ended up taking them to a fire department, which I thought was really cool. But the guy didn't want to take her business card. She said, you're taking my donuts, you're taking my business card. So she hit it up. I mean, she did a really great job, and she's the kind of person that will overthink it. And I said, don't overthink this, just do it. Focus on the action and the results will come.
And I talked to her after she did it, and she was on
She
like
felt
such a high,
good.
like she was.
Yeah.
Like that girl was like, dopamine, I'm like going nuts over here. And she was, yeah. So here's the other flip side of that. When you have a great event like that, ride it and keep going, and don't let what you got from it stop you from going. Like that can happen too. Like, oh, I just had like 150 contacts in one day. I could sit pretty for another week now. Just don't let that happen. Just continue to ride it. And you had a really good one. You did it in your neighborhood.
So I also, like Tammy, have 3 other realtors in my neighborhood, and they're all under the same person. Who, yeah, well, it's somebody who owns a brokerage, and then the other 2 are under him.
That has a team.
Yeah, so he farms our neighborhood really hard. Like every holiday, there's something in our mailbox. And he also created a neighborhood page just for home sales in our neighborhood, that he's the admin of. So I, for a while, was hesitant on like, if I even should promote myself out there, but there are for sale signs in our neighborhood that don't have his name on it, but they don't have my name on it either. So for Halloween, we, at the day of the uncomfortable, we brainstormed and I did, I always give out pudding shots and, cause the adults, you know, love alcohol. in our neighborhood. And so I made pudding shots and I had, a little sign that had, or a flyer that had the recipe on it. And then on the other side, I said, give me a shot as your real estate agent. And then I had a QR code that said, enter to win this gift basket valued at over $75. And then I had like the gift basket sitting on the table, with the pudding shots and stuff. And so I just handed it out to all the adults and told them like, you know, make sure you scan that so you can enter to win. I gave out 50 of the flyers and I only had like 7 people, but that's 7 more than I would have had before. And it's getting my name out there and building relationships, so.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's good.
And she's gonna recruit those agents to come over here eventually. So.
Oh, the ones I want to.
The ones.
Right.
Fair enough.
So what you got, John? Anything? We kind of like just took over the show and you haven't talked since the very beginning.
This is not my show to take over, so the only thing that I can say is I think, you know, huge piece for all of us is always communication, right? And I think the biggest thing that we all can really take away from that is if you were putting yourself in the other person's shoes of who you're inviting, what is that experience going to look like for them? How would you anticipate someone communicating with you when it comes to, you know, receiving client updates? I mean, we all can't be like me and Kit Mentler. Yeah, great. I'm going to go ahead and just put it on my calendar right now so I don't forget about it. There's going to be those people that are going to wait till the last minute, my wife included, until like, hey, we're going to this today. Are we really? Okay, cool. That's fine.
It's a
Good thing I
great
didn't.
non-agent perspective right here, folks.
That's the thing though, is like you have to figure out what is that whole communication piece going to look like on their side and kind of anticipate that for you too. So it may look like, you know, a good handful of emails. It's going to have to be probably some text messages and highly going to be some phone calls.
I want to
You
add
cannot
this,
rely on
and when
email.
Katie and John don't show up and they miss the event, call them and tell them you missed them.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You know, we've had people cancel, something's come up, whatever, and you call and you tell them, I missed you.
Every time you
So they
talk to
know.
people.
They know that you actually care. One other thing, and then I've got to go vote, because I missed that today, but all of that to say,
Not till 7 PM.
I gotta go pick up kids too, so, anyway. You all are perfect, you all have great experiences with all of your clients, I'm not. And so. Your problem clients. Invite them.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I do have one and he's moved away, so that's okay. He doesn't get advice. He was awful. He was the one that Don Arve looked at me and laughed and said, good luck. But I will tell you, we had, well, I thought it was a great experience with the buyer. And we even, for some reason, had to stay at the closing table with her an extraordinarily long amount of time one day. And I got home and saw that she had torched us on a review. And we could not figure out why. We invited her, called her, invited her. But seriously, I went back the other day to look for that review. No idea where it is. It's gone.
Her conscience got her.
Yeah.
That's good.
Interesting.
So. Yeah,
Thank Karen.
no,
Thank
so
you.
just know that with your problem clients. Still invite.
I don't know.
Sometimes they're really fans, you never, you're
They're undercover. Sometimes they're undercover.
Yeah, they're undercover, you know, they're
Some people are hard nuts to
Yeah,
crack.
yeah.
I can't believe Antonio did this, but because I sold a divorced couple's house and then sold them 2 more, so it's 3 transactions. I felt bad for the husband, the parents of the other one helped, so I gave him $1,000. Maybe. He tore me up on. I couldn't believe it.
You gave him $1,000 and then he gave you a bad review?
because he didn't get the nicer apple.
But he wasn't mad at her, I meant it, you're like, right.
That's why I left him. It doesn't matter what you do for him, he's gonna be a sweetie.
Oh, wow.
I just can't invite the same one in that preacher that cussed me out on the street.
Did he not choose?
You're not wrong. Huh?
Did he not choose the house that he said he wanted to buy?
If you
He was
have a-
mad at his ex, he wasn't mad at Margaret.
If you have a married couple still together or divorced, communicate with both of them. Don't send it to the dominant one
Yeah.
and expect him or her to relay it to the other one. Communicate with both of them.
always text both.
Yeah.
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 In the same message, like a.
Well, now,
Yeah,
if they're
or
divorcing, you might wanna.
No, but
Yeah,
if
you can do like a group chat.
Chats are fun.
I'm here always good to watch.
Sometimes I go to the husband, it just depends on the couple. It just means at the same time, when you're talking about something like this, that makes so much sense though. Make sure everybody gets the invite, everybody gets the text. You can't set up a Facebook event and hope and pray that that's gonna be how everybody finds out about it. Because because listen, if you do that, you cannot re-invite them to your Facebook event. You invited them once, and until they accept it, say going, can't go, or maybe, can't do anything else with it.
I never really liked this.
Also, it might sit in mine and then 3 months later, you're like, oh.
Oh, well, I haven't told
The
you
market
birthday.
sends out Facebook events, I don't really ever see them. And
We
it's
re-
just 'cause
and-
that's not the way I communicate.
That's the reason why we recognize that too. That's the other, can I add on to that too? Because you bring up a great point with that, because not everyone's on Facebook 24/7 while they're working.
Yeah.
There's other people that have jobs to do too. The other thing to that too is that's just another way where it gets in front of them, like you said. So if that's their means of communication, you all know your clients better than anyone. If that's where they're at, you need to put the event there. If it's in, if they live by their email, you got to put it there. If they are better with text, you got to give it that way too. So like we said earlier, there's not going to be one, golden bullet here that's going to resolve the client communication piece. It's just going to be systematically done in a timely manner and well in advance.
Can I make another comment about events? I did an event before I came to Keller Williams. I was with another real estate company. Back when my kids were in high school, my daughter was in marching band and I was a band mom. And just tie into what your kids are doing. I did my event on their event. Band camp, I helped volunteer during band camp. The end of band camp, they had a performance. I bought pom-poms with my name on them. They were like $1, and they were cheap.
Well, that was
And
a long time ago.
that was a long time.
Yeah,
I know.
They don't call them more now.
They don't do it anymore, but tie in. And so I was known as the pom-pom mom because I went to all football games. I always had a bag with me, extra ones, because there's always, oh, I forgot my pom-pom, you got pom-pom?
That's right.
Because, well, and when we had the end of band camp, we had they did a performance for the parents and all of us had pom-poms.
That's right.
So just think of different things like tie into other events, so you're not, maybe, your event is with their event.
That's right.
So give me some ideas. My daughter's in dance and they have the nutcracker. on the 19th. And they've been asking for volunteers and I've
Yeah.
been trying to get them, but not to go volunteer.
You auction off a nutcracker with your branded information on it.
Ooh, I know a girl that, like hand paints really like gorgeous nutcrackers, if you want her information.
Speak to William, sorry, I just have mine with the stage. Yeah. Just all get out, but again. Runs from the ballet, so maybe you can get one of his. Just tell him, ask him if we donate. Yeah. There you go.
All right, so
Columbia City Ballet.
So we have 9 minutes left, so I would definitely want to respect you guys' time to get out of here at 3 o'clock unless you guys want to hang out afterwards. Think about 2023. I'd say go ahead and make your goals for 2023, like set a time where you're like, okay, by the end of November, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing for 2023. And like Will said, that referral partner of his that says, come October, there is a email that goes out to every one of my vendors saying, these are what my events are for the year. That is gold. And please let me know which ones you would like to help with. We would love your assistance with that. So I'd say
You send, sorry,
go ahead,
send that to
all your vendors, lenders, attorneys.
different vendors.
I mean, well,
The
I'm
ones
counting
you
them
use.
on, the ones you would use, yeah. Inspectors.
I mean, if you have 2 or 3 lenders.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
And then
So
pick up the phone and
now-
call them and say, hey, I sent them to my entire vendor list. And, so if you want to get in on something, send me something back. I mean, pick up the phone and call them as well.
Because it depending on how you're doing it, you let them know, who I have sent it to more than one lender. If you want to win and be the, yeah, then, because you only want to have.
There's gonna be one, there may be a lender that says, I want to do them all. And then fine, that's great. You jumped in and you got it.
Sure.
Yeah, they want their names associated with these things too, because they can get in front of a lot of people and get a lot of contact information. So in just thinking about the things that are gonna be happening in 2023, I mean, you've got your normal holidays, your Valentine's Day, your Mardi Gras, your St. Pat's, your end of school, your back to school, your July 4th, your Thanksgiving, Halloween. You have all of these things, and there are these fun things in between too. So you could do some little fun things like National Hot Dog Day, National Taco Day, whatever there is. There's a website for it. Like you could just like Google made up holidays. So think about the things like there's Teacher Appreciation Week. So that's in May. May not want to do a whole lot in May because we have Red Day, which is May 11th plug. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Grandparents' Day. You may want to think about those types of things. A summer barbecue with a jump house.
Days of service,
Days of
like Earth
service.
Day, Martin Luther King Day.
I did my shred event,
That.
it was around tax day, but it was
Mhm.
actually on
Earth
Earth
Day.
Day.
There you-
Earth Day,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then also too, think about also like, do you want to participate in a local parade? Do you want, now that's not necessarily an event, or do you want to do the orchestra or the Peach Festival? Or, the chili cook-off that they do in Lexington, town of Lexington does a chili cook-off, and you can enter in something like that. So these are different types of things that are not necessarily just client events. Yeah. Everybody's got their own thing. Some other ideas, you could do micro events. So if you wanted to do like a micro event on a quarterly basis or something like that, you could do sip and paint, family photos. Online game night, Fireflies game is not a micro event. You could do, we're doing 3 blood drives this year, guys. Invite your clients to those.
Are they all on Thursday?
No, not
Thank God.
necessarily. So I'll have to double check. No, not enough. Absolutely not. For those people, for those people who do not give blood and send people in their place, thank you. I reached out to my clients and said, hey, you want to give blood? You want to give blood? You want to give blood? And they're like, oh yeah, it's my time to give. Just that's another contact. This all ties back into lead generation, which is should be our one thing, right?
So that list that you were reading, are you gonna send that to all of us?
I'll send it out to you guys.
What about the thing that you and I have done before, sending the scratch off lottery ticket?
Oh yeah, that's a
St.
great one.
Patrick's Day, St. Patrick's Day, we're lucky to have you as a client. Lori and I did a.
We mailed them out to our
Yeah.
clients actually, and also
Yeah.
said, if you take a picture of, because we'll do like, we did a postcard.
Yeah.
I can share a copy with you. Well,
Well,
actually, there was a postcard that says, we're
Yeah.
lucky to have you as a client, had our picture on it. And on the back, it had a QR code to like our website or our app or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it just we have like a $1 or a $2 scratch off in it. And it says, if you post this on social media and tag us, what if we do something about, I did it where they.
You did it on your
I
Facebook.
think I did it to where like if they posted it on social media and tagged us, they got entered into a drawing for like a Yeti bag or something like that.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, I didn't get a whole lot of that
Scratch offs come in.
because it was St. Pat's Day and
Like,
St.
you
Pat's.
know,
Day.
we did
Well,
that.
I get that.
You said you sent out a postcard.
I did. We did it to our past clients only. That was just us. That's what we did.
Scratch off come in. Let me
We,
get it.
we put the postcard and the scratch off
Yeah.
in the envelope, put them in the mail.
I'm looking to see if I could
I
find.
didn't get the envelope card.
Yeah.
Yeah. We put a forever stamp on it and
Right.
it went in the mail. You can also, y'all missed your opportunity when we had February 22nd, 2022. That was the $2 scratch off ticket day. Everybody took advantage of that. Also too, I randomly will go do a bold 100 with scratch off tickets. I'll go buy $1 scratch off tickets. I buy 100 of them. I staple them to my business card. There is nothing more, it's just that simple. And I literally will go to Costco and I'll go to different businesses around town. I hand them out when I'm at the gas station. My script is, I'm a local realtor and I'm just doing something fun today. I'd just love to give you a scratch off ticket. I hope you win $9,000. And they'll look at me kind of funny and they're like, oh, that's really cool. And then I'll say, hey, listen, if I can help you with your real estate needs, buying and selling, I'd love to help. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, sure. I said, oh, and by the way, when you win that $9,000, text me because that's going to be super cool.
This is what our card said, because we have the same.
Yeah, we can send you a picture of it.
Yeah, a good client is like a 4-leaf clover, hard to find and lucky to have. Wishing you lots of luck and cheer that lasts not just one day, but the whole year. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And then on the back, it says best of luck on your scratch off.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah. Terry and I kind of went in together on that.
Yeah.
What was that 2 years ago? That wasn't this year, that was last year.
A couple years ago. I mean,
That
I've
was
been doing it
2021.
since, yeah.
I did not
Yeah.
do it this year. I ended up just, I also too, I was trying to get a Bold 100 in and I did get my Bold 100 in. I was taking my husband to a wrestling event. Has anybody ever been to a wrestling event?
Mm.
Does anybody know how weird wrestling fans are? Really like strange, I've been watching wrestling since I was a itty girl. I was literally there when they shaved Andre the Giant's head in Washington DC. So, yeah, I was a once a monther. We were at the Capitol Center once a month. Anyway, I went to, I know, we got to the venue and I told my husband, don't be mad at me. Cause he knew I had to get a Bold 100 in. I said, do not be mad at me. Cause I was taking it and we got to the end of the line and I said, I gotta go talk to 100 people. So I had 100 scratch off tickets stapled to my business card. And I went through the entire line. It took me about 40 minutes. And I talked to 100 people and I let them know I'm a realtor. I'd love to work with you and anybody that you possibly know buying and selling homes.
Come
Do
on.
it. I mean, like, those are the
That's
simplest things to do. And I'll tell you what, I got some funky looks by some wrestling fans. I still did it. And I did get a
And I
couple.
went to the scratch off card too.
There was one person that wouldn't take it. I'm not taking it. I'm like, I'm not asking you for anything in return. It's like,
Laced with something.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And there's fentanyl on the other side.
And I'm going to give you my contact information.
yeah, right. He's like, I don't want that. I'm like, it's okay, I guess you gave it to the next person in line. It was fine. And that person won $9,000. So scratch offs are a great way to do it. Also, there is a Facebook group called Pop By Referrals. I was trying to find it, but it's not popping up. I was gonna send it to you guys.
Pinterest Popeyes. Pinterest Popeyes.
This one, it's Pop By with a hyphen between pop and buy. Pop By Ideas and Referrals. And a lot of the people out there are real estate agents. So that's a really great Facebook group to be in. Some people are a little extra with their ideas. I will say that. In search of a new idea for Thanksgiving, not pie. Oh, we can do Pie Day too. So March 14th is also Pie Day. So if you missed the vote on Pie Day for Thanksgiving, you have another opportunity in March. So be planning it now.
Plus, you could probably get Publix to make the little ones. I know those very well. Those are my downfall. The little, and they're $3.40.
Yeah, you can.
So it already has it, at the price. It's only the However, they'll make it $3.40. So you think I don't stop for a little bit? But you could probably just say, hey, in honor of Pie Day, I need 100 of these. How do I make that?
A lot of these people will give you ideas on going to the Dollar Tree and picking up stuff and turn it into something that looks really cool.
Yeah.
Canva, if you do not use Canva, don't listen to me, John. Canva, huh?
I'm not anti-Canva.
He's just pro.
Command.
Just do it.
Just upload it to command after you do it.
Listen, if you're like me, you gotta get something rolling really quickly with the design. Canva's your friend. So I have a ton of stuff in Canva. If you ever have an idea and want to know if I already have something, just let me know, John. Plus yourself. I have a ton of designs in Canva. Who has questions? We can keep going, but if you have to go, you can go.
It's a legal question. But, no, you said the word pop by, and then think about a question that was asked earlier. Can you do pop buys for expired listings?
Absolutely.
If there's no contact information, you can actually just stop by.
100%.
Expired?
If as long as it's expired, and hasn't been relisted, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, does it matter if it's a sign and they don't?
If it says relist on it, be careful. Ask Tracy about that. If it just says expired or withdrawn, shoot, go for it.
I think they all say expired.
Not all of them.
If they,
You have to
a
choose.
sign in the yard,
I wouldn't if there's a sign in the yard.
say it's expired today, and they have, the reason behind it.
Or they may be in the middle of doing paperwork or haven't completed it. I'd stay
If
away
it's
from the sign.
expired, it's expired. Now, they could be in the process of doing their new paperwork. You might just want to give that 24 hours.
Yeah, it's been long. We
You
just
could. Give it there, so, yeah, that's a great opportunity because I will say this, there is no chance in this world,
Yeah, right.
no chance, no destiny, no fate that will circumvent, hinder. Anyway, I could say that all day long. See, now you just ruined me, Kip. There's no chance I'm not putting a phone number on there. So I'd say 9 out of 10 listings don't have a phone number on there, so you're not gonna have that anyway. So your best bet's to do a Popeye or buy into some type of service where you can get a phone number.
Well, and the reason I ask is because we have 4 phone numbers, they're all in the do not call list. So we want to go back.
Yeah, and if there is a phone number, it's on the do not call list. I love when FISBO owners have a do not call list phone number. It's like,
When you posted it in the front of your yard.
I feel this way.
I'm
If
telling
you
you.
have a sign in
Rusty
your
though.
yard that says, call me for
Right.
information, the do not call list does not apply to you. And that's how I feel about that.
Rusty's got a great script on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So when they call.
I always take pictures of for sale by owner signs for sure. Yeah, so. some of the-
Right.
How often do you, like, if I were to do a little, I mean, I feel like every month is a lot,
Every month is a lot.
but if I did like different stuff, like the Halloween gift basket thing I did, like December, and Christmas party, I mean, I know it's not events, but like just different things. Do you think doing something like that every month is like something, or?
I mean, you absolutely can, and it doesn't, I mean, it could be a neighborhood thing, it can be a past client thing, it can be a sphere thing. Yeah, I mean, you can do it however you want to, how often, I mean, it might be something that you could do for very little money or no money at all, if you got lenders that are helping you with it.
Don't sleep on the micro events either, you know?
Yeah, and the other thing too is, don't miss your opportunity to get this stuff out on social media. So once your event, like while your event's taking place, don't forget to take photos. Don't forget to take photos because those need to be on your social media. And if people have taken photos of the event, make sure that they're tagging you in them.
So if you're doing like the VIP exclusive. Then.
That might be different.
Find out how you can get on my VIP list.
Some people have a VIP Facebook group for their business.
Or you could say you want to be invited to my event to meet my client. You know, it's like-
Yeah, like find out how you can be on my.
Now, when
list.
you're talking about VIP, are you talking about like, is your VIP list your past clients only, or is it like high-end past
Well, I haven't
clients?
seen anything.
You're
So
just,
I'm
you're
just
just asking.
thinking because that's what I do.
He does VIPs all the time.
So I was just, I have some friends that I'm closer to than others, and I know they would refer someone else over me, even though we're still friends, we still hang out, and I know they work for someone else, and that's okay.
Yep.
So, well, they were invited to an event, so obviously the friends talk, communicate, so just trying to understand what the fallout could be from that.
That's when you say, oh, I had an event for all of my past clients. I'm sorry to mention.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
But just let them know, it was something special for everybody that
That's bars, not a house. You can say that. Yeah. Now,
Now,
if
I'd
it's,
love to be able to invite you.
if it's more of a VIP sphere thing, then that gets a little tricky.
Right.
Well,
because
because
then
then
how do
it's
you-
not just your past clients. Then they probably would get invited, I would imagine, if they're.
Yeah, but if they're not, well.
Or you can say like people that refer me out.
I mean,
Right, referrals.
and that,
You could-
and that might
you
be
could
one of the
say-
tough conversations
You could have,
I could have, it. You know, you choose not to use, it. How in the world do you expect me to invite you? I could have. it. You might not be a fan.
and the other thing is like, here's kind of a thought too. I don't know if anybody would take this and run with it. Think about all the people that refer to you, but might not necessarily be a past client. Say you've got 10 people that have referred business to you and they're not necessarily your client, they might be your client in the future. You could thank those people with some type of micro events. Hey, you're a VIP because you've referred business to me. We haven't personally done business together. However, I'm super thankful for the business that you've sent my way, and this is my way of showing thanks. That could be something totally different too.
You know,
Just
you're.
for- And that could be a micro event.
Across the legal side of that.
You're just giving them an event. You're just thanking them.
And you don't have to,
You didn't give them the event before they sent you a referral. You didn't, so the part where you're talking about as far as like RESPA goes, you can't legally say, if you send me a referral, I'll give you a gift card.
Right, yeah.
You didn't do that. They
Making
sent you
sure.
business and then,
You thank them.
You think.
and then
Yeah.
this is just my way of thanking. them.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do that. Yeah.
So, but you cannot,
You gotta be
cannot,
careful about what you
yeah,
say.
you cannot drum up
I'm
business.
gonna take care of it. Yeah, absolutely. Just don't let the person next to you, I mean.
And again, it could be micro.
I
So
said, I've got.
I think the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway is you cannot offer something and the return piece is their referral.
Yeah.
I will give you X if you give me a referral.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. Yes.
Or like, how can you, I guess,
What do you mean? It's like,
like, don't promote it as this is for my referrals, just.
When they refer you, send them a card, a thank you card, and have a gift card.
Yeah.
yeah, you could do that. Yeah, that's totally fine. You did not offer to give that to them in order to get
No, that's something you probably should be writing on.
Who the heck's gonna know who you gave that to? Is your tax accountant or the IRS gonna?
Hey, written on back and what it's for and against it. Anyway.
That's another conversation.
She was audited before.
Oh, well, that's the one, I mean.
Yeah.
That's when she like,
You know what? I would think that-
oh my God.
Yeah. It's 9:10. Yeah, in fact,
Wow.
$10,000, we didn't have it wrong.
Well, what you.